Welcome back to the Rage Podcast, everybody. Our intended topic is called How to Budget / Spend Wisely, in our opinion, but we're going to throw a little twist in there too. We can also put some strats in there on how we spend our money as well, if we like to ball out from time to time or save or whatever it is. I got that man Blue.
Yeah, where my do-rag at?
It's like every episode you become more.
I got that man Jay.
What up, though? I got
you. Oh, sorry, were you done?
No, I'm done.
Okay. And everybody knows who I am. I'm Mr. TJ. Your boy is back. We can go on and get started, man. This was actually my idea for once. Yes. So I get to start us off, right? But no, I wanted to talk about this topic in relation to our last podcast, which should be up by the time... It should be up. Anyway, just be on the lookout for it. But my friend on Facebook asked me how to budget his money. No, he actually asked the world, and I was just glancing at his comment. I'm like, dude, all you have to do is literally don't spend, because that's what I do. That's the best way to budget, in my opinion. It doesn't matter on the circumstance. Like, I live on my own, so I have to, like, extremely budget. Like, I have to actually budget, or I'm going to be in trouble. But the easiest way I found to budget is just simply spend money on what you absolutely need. You know, bills, rent, food is a necessity sometimes. I mean, some people can live forever without food. Oh, God. You know, unless you're Pharrell, then you don't require anything. So
nah, you just need blood and
you just need fans.
He feeds off his fans and he keeps his youth.
For real, like fan base and music is all he needs. But yeah, that's simply put. Just spend wisely. Just spend spend your money on what you absolutely need before you focus on the wants. That's how I do it. And another thing is, Blue and Jay, you guys know me. I don't really go out much, and I don't really, party, club, drink, eat out. Well, I'm lying. I eat out a lot, actually. I'm a fatty, but I try to keep it under control. So what I try to do instead is I like to save my money for awesome stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like go-kart racing. We be up in there getting them 24s, man. You know what I'm saying? Them 24 seconds around the guy.
Hello?
Speaking of which, we need to...
what the heck happened?
What? Did I cut out or something? Hello? Oh, Blue? Hello?
Okay, I'm here. That was weird.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, alright, sure.
Super weird. But okay.
What I was about to say was we need to schedule another go-karting event soon.
Yeah, man.
So
Indeed.
Save your pennies.
Times on it.
For real. But honestly, I like to spend my money on big stuff. Toys, technology. Once upon a time, I was on 2 wheels. More on that later. That's just another side of my life. I typically don't even reveal anymore unless people ask, or if they like walk past my desk and notice like a very expensive motorcycle desktop background. Then I gotta lay it on them, I actually met this guy. On side note, and I ramble a lot, so you already know I talk a lot, but I met a guy. He was a contractor. I met him earlier this week at work. And he's around our age, married with 2 kids, bro, 25.
Oh, hell no, he ain't our age. I'm sorry, my bad. Continue.
But anyway, like I immediately knew he was a cool guy because he actually saw my desktop background. He was like, what kind of bike is that? I was like, well, I'm glad you asked. It was a 2016 MV Agusta Bertali 800 R, I believe. That bike is smexy. I'm gonna insert a picture right here for y'all watching.
I don't know if anybody gonna know what that looks like.
Yeah, I got you with the picture. Don't even trip. But anyway, no, we made that up. Huh?
Outside of those like 2-wheel souls who were just like, oh, yo, I love that bike. Like there's like 5 of y'all. So.
But yeah, so I had to give him a breakdown. I was like, oh, okay, where's it from? Like, Italy, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay, I've been on an Italian bike before. I was like, really? So he was like, yeah, I ride motorcycles, and I currently have like it was a 2004 or 5 SV650S, which I actually had that bike. I had the naked version of it. That was oh my god, like quick, I guess, selling tip / plug. That is the most insane light bike you can buy for the price.
Sponsor.
It's so great. Yeah, it's the equivalent, really. But anyway, let me go on and pass it off before I ramble too long. Blue, do you have any, I guess, money-saving tips or how you spend your money in particular or something like that?
Alright, so let me tell you how I do sometimes. And only sometimes.
Tim's.
Tim's and do-rags. Whole line item in the budget.
Okay, so first off, I still only have my one pair of Timbs. I haven't, the way my bank account is set up, I can't just go out and buy another pair of Timbs like that.
Well, we also don't have a Tim store in Georgia because we're civilized. So
you are also right on half of that. But the way that I spend money, I mean, like you, I don't do much at all. I literally just sit at home in front of my computer all day, and is separated from society unless I go buy stuff at the store for my mom, and then I go outside, I go to the stores, and then I live in the pretty Caucasian side of town, so I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so alone out here. I just try to quickly go through the groceries and then get home. Or if I'm at the gym, I just try to focus on myself and just work out, and then I go home. So yeah, I'm not very social for the past couple months, but that's whatever. The only things that I really pay for or just buy, and I will admit, I mean, I guess this will be the equivalent to some people in I was about to say, hold on, who's that? But I guess it's like I said, it's the equivalent to some people when they go to the club. Well, then again, I don't do it every day. Okay, my bad spending habit is games. Obviously not as bad as Joey's because I don't have games. I was just saying.
We'll get to him in a minute.
Hey, all right. We don't need none of this negativity all up in this podcast, okay? I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like I'm being attacked.
I'm just going off of numbers. It's just going off of numbers. I don't have as much games as some people, but when I have the money, yes, I do buy games. And usually they're on sale, but recently I've been going a little crazy because for some reason all the gaming websites that have all the games online and stuff like that, they allow you to pay with PayPal, and that's where my downfall came from. I was just fine before. I was able to do just fine. Like, you know what? I'll wait till the prices go down, or I'll wait till there's a sale, or maybe I just won't get the game and I'll just window shopping or just YouTube watch whatever the gameplay is.
Mm-hmm.
And then PayPal came out, and then they had the PayPal credit, and now I'm able to use said PayPal credit to buy games. So right now I'm looking at almost $400 that I owe. That's on my PayPal credit card, or credit, I guess, limit right now, and all of those are literally just games and materials from League of Legends, because for some reason I can't just stop buying shit from that game. But outside of that, I mean, it's really just a credit, more so a credit card, and I don't know if it affects my credit unless it gets put to what do they call that thing where you don't pay? Yeah, that thing, the collectibles. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's really helping my credit or not, unless that happens, which that hasn't happened yet. So yeah, outside of that, I really don't go and splurge on shoes. I don't go splurge on clothes. I don't go splurge on watches. I have yet to buy a pair of Jordans in my life, so there's that. But yeah, as far as the spending goes, it's really just games for me. And even then, like, I have a whole bunch of games that I haven't touched yet, or games that I've played like 5 minutes of and stopped playing. I have a whole bunch of those. But
Boy,
I mean,
Steam refunds.
oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But a good amount of my games aren't on Steam. Well, I think like only like 7 of my games aren't on Steam. So I guess that doesn't count. But the games that I don't play, they're mainly it's really just Battlefront that really, comes to mind right now. But I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm just gonna get mad again. But anyways, when it comes to like spending money, like compared to like most, I just don't know. You just gotta have that self control.
Nah, bro, we American. Can't do that.
Oh my gosh.
That nonsense out of here.
and and this is why people just get stuck where they're at, because they keep paying for stuff that they don't need the money for, and then they can't do this or they can't get this. Okay. Now, when it comes to budgeting, people complain that they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't buy this car, they can't, get from A to Z because they don't have a vehicle. Okay, let's talk about vehicles per se.
Ooh, please, yes.
Let's go ahead and bring up budget for the vehicles. I don't have a car right now. And people may ask, well, Blue, why the hell don't you have a car right now? I mean, you have a job, right? Huh? What?
What? You're tall to fit in one. I was there at the car dealership. I saw him trying to squeeze you into that Honda like a clown car. It worked.
Oh my gosh. But for most people, it's like, okay, well, what am I doing with my life right now? I'm working. I live at home with my mother, and like, I should have a car right now. Why don't I have a car? Well, first off, I have a credit limit that's pretty high right now. I got like 2-3 bills that's on it. Now, granted, it's not like super bills like a car note, insurance, gas, utilities, and a house and stuff like that. But they're still bills. They come off my account every month. I don't make any substantial amount of money. I probably make as much as a manager would at McDonald's. And last time I checked, those people usually aren't living by themselves in like a house. And if they do pay any type of bills, it's probably just a phone bill and maybe a car note if it wasn't repoed already, because cars are expensive as hell if you're buying a new one. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't have a car right now. I don't make enough to fully, I'm not comfortable with living paycheck to paycheck. That's not my life. So I'm not gonna sit here, purchase a car, and then have to pay an extra $300 or $500, depending on however much the insurance is on top of that, and have to take that also from my check. It doesn't suit well with me, and I don't think I'm in that spot where I want to be doing all of that. If I'm gonna buy a car, I need to make sure that I can easily pay for the car as well as everything else that I'm paying for, and still have money left over. So that's why I don't have a car. Now, do some niggas think like that? No. Which is why, people get their car repoed a lot, because they just thinking, oh, I could just, maybe I could just go to like nowadays it's just easy as hell to get a car. All you have to do is just go to the dealership, tell them you want this car, I don't have the money right now, and they'll be like, cool, we'll give you a month to give us some type of down payment, and you could walk away with this car right now. And then they'd be like, oh hell yeah, I got a month, I could make $200 in a month, let's do it. And then they get the car, and then their first payment comes in, and it's like $400, and they're like, oh shit, I gotta work some overtime. And then their overtime only gives them like $100 more, and then it's like, damn, I can't pay for this car. And you short a couple payments and saying, no, they're gonna take that junk from you. I've seen it happen a lot. I've seen it happen more than I expected to, for people that I know. And I'm just like, dang, bruh, You should have let that happen. Or better yet, you should have gotten the damn car in the first place. I don't know what you was thinking. Thinking just because you a manager of McDonald's that you a big boss that you could go ahead and buy this new 2016 Ultima. Hell no. Get out of here, bruh. Are you stupid? You stupid as hell.
Oh,
For real.
Like, it's yeah, and that's one thing that people need to understand. Like, but make sure when you're budgeting, you're budgeting for the right reasons. You're budgeting for whatever it is that you want. I want a car, and I'm going to get my car. I'm just not paying for it right now. The second that I'm able to make the funds, the second that I get the funds and get the finances to feasibly pay for the car, damn Skippy, I'm gonna get the car. Like this whole job thing, if that thing works out, like the first thing I got to do is get a car. Can I, can I stick with the, basic the basic model of the car that I want? I could, but I'm probably not, because just based on how much I'll be making. I mean, like I said, I'm not living by myself right now, and um like I can literally just make the payments and still have enough money to do whatever the hell I want, which more than likely is going to be saved because I don't do a lot of things. I don't go out to the club every night. I don't eat out all the time, so I don't spend like $600 on food every week, which is over exaggerated number, but yeah. So I like most of my money will be saved up from whatever is left at the end of each month, and that will be towards getting my own place and looking towards my future, because that's where I'm at right now. And I have other people that, or one particular other person that I got to worry about. So I got to make sure, that everything is set for us. But for a lot of other people, they kind of still have that mindset of me, me, me. And not only that, making sure that me is happy right now. And not actually realizing, the consequences of trying to make me happy right now. Like it can get unbearable, and you get stuck in that cycle of either owing people money or having to pay some shit off. And I ain't about that life. And I feel like a lot of people shouldn't be about that life. And maybe their life would go a lot smoother. Will they have longer nights where, they got to stay up a little longer to do whatever they got to do? Yeah, sure. But you got to sacrifice something so that you can get what you want at a certain time frame. If I want to get my car by, I don't know, if I don't get this job, if I want to get the car that I want, I'm going to have to be working hell a lot of overtime, not do absolutely anything for the next several months, and hope that I don't have to take off for whatever reason. If I'm really that dedicated to getting the car, that's just how it is, because I still have other stuff I got to pay for. But with that being said, like, unlike other people, I mean, other people are just like, yeah, I could just get the car now. I could just tack that on my bill. If I do the math right, I should be able to still have money left over. Yeah, you got like $2 left over. Like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy how reckless people be getting with their finances and their budgeting, and then they're not knowing, and then they just end up short in so many cases. And it's like, oh, they got to borrow money from this person or that person, and then now it's like they're in forever debt, owing people money, and people hunting them down for money and stuff like that. That's not a lifestyle to live. You just gotta have self control and not pay for shit that you don't want or that you don't need right now.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess I'll take that as a segue to interject for myself.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, I guess in regards to me, much like TJ and Blue both said, I'm not really the kind of spend money like that. Even though Blue so rudely tried to call me out on my Steam game. So let's be clear about something. All right, I have a lot of games on Steam. Yes, this is true. Have I spent a lot of money on Steam? Absolutely. Do I play every game that I own on Steam? I haven't had the chance to yet, but I'm making my way down the list. That being said, I almost never buy games that aren't on sale. And most of the games that I got off refund checks which I mean I'll get into a second in regards to like how refund checks and budgeting and all that stuff saving money affects things. But I mean most of the stuff that I have, I just chose not to blow my money on a new TV. I just bought 45 games for $13. I mean it wasn't actually $13. It'd be pretty dope if it was though, but no. But yeah, so I mean, much like Blue, much like TJ, I don't really spend money like that. Like I'm okay with kicking it at home. I mean, I write, so I read a lot. So I mean, I got like 20 books on my Kindle. Like I'm okay with just staying at home and reading and chilling out and not really like going out and doing all kinds of stuff. And I think one of the mistakes I've seen a lot of people make is that they spend money they think they're going to get, but they don't have yet. So like people will be like,
oh man,
they'll be working at like let's say somebody's working at wherever, office, fast food, wherever place you want somebody to be working for this example. Let's say they're working there and they're guaranteed their next paycheck is going to be $500, whatever. I know a lot of people, and I know that there are people out there that do this who I was just taught differently, I guess. But so the money in their mind is guaranteed, quote unquote. Like, well, I'm putting in this time at work, so I know, quote unquote, I'm going to be getting this $500. So it's okay for me to spend $450 here. And for me, until that money hits my account, it's not mine yet. Like I'm getting my own business off the ground. I just got done working with the client, and I had my girlfriend ask me, how much I made, and once I told her, she was like, "Oh, so you can." I forgot what she asked me if I could do something now, and I was like, "Well, no, I don't have the check yet." She's like, "But you're gonna get paid," and I was like, "But I haven't been yet." She's like, "But you're gonna get paid, but it's not in my account yet."
You don't have the money yet.
Yeah, so and it's not even that I couldn't afford it. It's just that in my mind, I'm not gonna spend any money before it's in my account, before my bank account shows me like the green plus deposit symbol. Until I see all that and my account balance changes, I've made no money. Like it doesn't matter how hard I work, I have made no money until the check clears or the whatever deposit clears and it's actually in my account. And I've found that kind of mentality actually extends to a lot of the stuff I do, where like I'll fight myself on spending money. I mean, once I ended up not working at the corporate job that I was at for about a year and a half or so, I had a lot of people who were like, "Oh, well, it's good that you're staying with your parents because money's going to get tight." And I was like, "No, it's not." and one guy was like, "Well, what do you mean? I know you plan on getting your own thing off the ground and everything, but you don't have a job." I was like, "Yeah, but I also didn't blow all my money. I actually have a lot saved." He was like, "Oh, well, what do you mean? You got like 1,000 or so saved?" And I was like, "It's a little more than 1,000, a little more than that." And I mean, and it kind of led me to like doing a little bit of research, and I found out that there are a lot of people who just don't save money for whatever reason. I mean, either they don't know to, they don't want to, but there are a lot of people who just don't have money saved. And I mean, one mentality behind it is, you get money, you have money to spend it on things. That's literally the only purpose that money exists. Money exists to be traded for other things, whether it's goods or services. So, I mean, the whole point of getting money is so that you can either buy something or you can have an experience of some sort. That's why money exists. That's true. But to me, spending your money on every little thing that you want is an easy way to look up and not have any money. Like how I typically do things is I employ the 2-week rule. And I don't know if it's my parents that taught me this, or I don't quite remember where I picked it up, but it's what I do. So when I want something, like let's use Steam games, for example, since Blue decided to try to call me out like a jerk.
Let's hear it.
So like there's a new game coming out as of this podcast. Today's date is January 17th, 2017. On the 24th or the 26th of January, a new game in a series that I like, an RPG, is coming out. And I mean, of course, I saw the trailer and I was like, "Yo, that looks crazy. I want that." And I'm actually going to use this as kind of transition into something else in regards to spending money because I want you guys' opinion on it. But so like getting the game, if you pre-ordered it, then it was like 10% off or something. And I was like, "Cool, I'll pre-order it." But the pre-order lasts until the day before the game comes out. So I haven't bought the game yet. And my girlfriend saw it on my wish list, and she was like, "Why don't you just buy the game?" I was like, "Because why would I spend the $40 before I have to spend the $40? Like, what, what benefit would it serve me to have something I'm not going to use yet?" She's like,
Wait,
"Well, I thought
this is just a pre-order, you said?
Yeah, yeah. So of course I was just like, I mean, because the game's not out yet, so even with me pre-ordering it, I'm not gonna have the game until the day it comes out, so I'll just pre-order it right before it comes out. I'm okay with that." And I mean, after I explained it like that, she kind of understood, but it also kind of gave me some insight into, well, if you're save money, just save money. And it's like that sale mentality where like people who don't spend a lot of money, or people who spend a lot of money, and they'll like go to a store and they see like a pair of Jordans or something, and big yellow, red, whatever sign, sale, 50% off. This $250 pair of shoes is now only one something after tax. And people are like, "Oh, I'm saving like $100." No, you're still spending the exact same amount of money. Like, if it's on sale for $100, you're not saving $100. You're still spending $100. Like, it baffles my mind that, and it's a sale mentality kind of thing where people are like, "Oh, well, I actually jokingly referred to it as with a friend of ours, that's like the Taco Bell mentality, where people are like, well, it only costs $1, but you still spent $30. So it didn't matter if you got 1,000 things from Taco Bell or one thing from a restaurant. You're still out $30. Like, that's what really matters when it comes to saving your money. Like, how much money did you spend to do what it is you're trying to do? So for me,
another example real quick, just to cut in real fast.
Like, yeah, sure.
I'm trying to get this i7 real quick, bro, and like it is not going on sale. I'm upset.
You're gonna have to wait till the KB Lake ones come out. The 78
time for that,
or whatever they're gonna be. You gotta wait for those to come out. But yeah, like even with that, like you're not. I mean, it's not on sale, but you also not like itching in your seat. Like, whatever, I'm gonna just get it now. Like, no, you're waiting for it to be cheaper for you to spend the money that you're going to spend on it, which is good. But there are a lot of people who just don't, I don't know, I guess you just don't have that impulse control. And that's what it really comes down to for me. It's like impulse control. Can I make like if I delay getting this, will I still want it once it's time to get it? I mean, like Blue said when he was talking, he doesn't have a pair of Jordans. I just recently bought a pair of Jordans and I've worn them twice. And I'm not avoiding wearing them because they're my first pair of J's and I don't want them on my feet. It's just because I have other shoes, so I'm not gonna wear the shoes that I spent $80 on just because they're Jordans. Like, no, I bought these and I don't plan on getting rid of them anytime soon. And I'm also not one of those sneakerheads who has so many shoes that you wear every pair of shoes once. Like, you can ask Blue, I'll wear some shoes down, but but I'll also have one pair of shoes that I wear every once in a while, and they'll be in great condition because I just take care of my stuff, so I don't need to spend money to replace it that often. And I think that same impulse control kind of goes to your example. You were talking about cars, Blue, where because I mean, car dealerships, they're there to try to get you to make the sale. And I don't recall if we didn't we talk about cars in the last episode a little bit too?
In the last,
it was either the last one. It was sometime recently.
It probably was the one before that.
Well, whatever it was, you guys can go back through all the Raging Podcast episodes and listen to them again and again. And I don't know, I guess shoot me a tweet or something about which one it was because I don't remember, and I don't know. But where the salesman is there to make a sale on you, like you are a target to make money for them. I mean, the salesman is trying to make commission. The dealership's trying to offload a car that's costing them money to sit on a lot and get you in a new car. So they'll do almost anything to get you to drive off with the car that day. And it's always about, and the reason they do that is because salesmen, one thing that a salesman fundamentally understands is that if you can get a person to make a decision without them considering it, they're more likely to spend more money. Just straight up. Like if there was a salesman who sold games, he would deal in getting people to make the quickest sale possible. Like, hey, look, new Halo just came out, $55. And somebody's like, well, I don't know if I want to. And then they'd be like, well, you know what? You don't want to miss out on the day one crowds and all the people playing the game for the first time. You play Halo, right? Don't you want to be able to dominate all the people who are new to the game and get really high up in the ranks? You don't want to waste any time not buying this game right now.
Buy it now!
Exactly. And then people were like, well, okay. And bam, sale made right there. But I mean, for me, and kind of like Blue mentioned, I'm sure TJ too, I'm going to wait till that price drops. Like Steam be on point with their Steam sales. Fallout 4 for the winter one was like $15 or something. Like, that's a $60 game that went down to $15. I didn't get it because I don't have time to play Fallout 4. But, I mean, I'm okay with waiting. And I think it'd be a lot easier to save your money if you just get okay with waiting. And one other thing before I ask you guys this question about video game pre-ordering, stop pretending like stop telling yourself the lie that it's more expensive to cook at home. If you don't get on YouTube and Google how do I make chicken or something, like I get so tired of people being like, but it's so expensive to cook. No, it's not.
It's actually not.
It really isn't.
Time consuming. That's all it is. Ain't no expensive. It's expensive towards time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and even with that, as you get better at cooking, you stop spending so much time doing certain things. Like, if you're not very good at cutting up chicken, if you make chicken or fish or whatever your food preference is, if you make it all the time, you're gonna get better at doing it. So it's not gonna take as much time.
You get to a point where you take that chicken, throw it up, and then slice them once, and then dice them to little shreds.
Got little chicken cubes sprinkling down on your salad. But I mean, even if you're not necessarily eating healthy or whatever, it's always cheaper to just eat at home. Like, there is no situation where going out and spending. I mean, when Blue and I were in college, I remember we had. I mean, I'm not going to shout out any names because ain't trying to put nobody in, like throw nobody in doghouse. But we had plenty of friends who come over to our place and they'd be like, "Oh, y'all are cooking?" I'd be like, "Yeah." They'd be like, "Oh, well." I was like, "Well, what do y'all do?" We just ordered pizza. As one of our friends, I was like, "Okay, how much does pizza cost?" Like $14, and you get pizza. And they're like, "Well, one large lasts me for 2 days." Okay, so like $7 a day. That's what's up. This giant pack of chicken that we bought cost $5, and we've been eating it for 2 weeks. So, and when I say we, I mean like 8 people, because we had legit like 8 people staying in our apartment because of girlfriends and stuff. And also people who would just randomly come over and eat our food. Because
freaking freeloaders.
Yeah, like people from Jeff and Blue's work, they'd be like, "Yeah, we're over here to play some games. I heard you're cooking though, so I'm gonna just hang out until you're done cooking." But yeah, like it is always cheaper to cook for yourself. Learn to cook for yourself, especially if you're a guy. Like, I know that there's like the whole, women should know how to cook, whatever. But if you're a guy, being able to cook, one, it's something that you can easily like have for a potential girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever you have, whatever your preference is, a potential romantic partner to be interested in. Because people say like the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That's the way to a human being's heart. Like, it's not just men.
Much. I know females will drop dead for a nigga that can cook. Right? I've never heard a human being talk so much about food than females do nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Bro, that's the best pickup line. Have you eaten already?
No, but like real talk it is. Like my girlfriend we started dating freshman year in college, but I don't know if you remember this, Blue, but there was one Valentine's Day where like everybody was going out and I was like, you know what? I'm a cook. Like,
Yeah, you're right. I remember that.
Yeah, and like I went to like 3 different stores and I got all the ingredients I needed and I cooked. And she like flipped out. She was like, "You made this?" Yeah. Like, why are you so shocked? She was like, "I don't know. I've never really had a guy cook for me before, and I've never had it be so good." And I was like, "Well, I mean, homeboy know how to throw it down every once in a while. You make some fettuccine alfredo with some broccoli. I'll do my thing." And it was a great night. So like, learn how to cook, man. Nothing bad comes from learning how to cook. Unless you just absolutely suck at handling fire, then maybe get an electric stove. Because, ain't nobody trying to... The Raging Podcast does not want to be responsible for people burning down apartments trying to learn how to cook. But,
what's that your opinion, Joey? Or the opinion you wanted from us?
So, the question I wanted to ask you guys was, how do you feel about pre-ordering games and game consoles? Because, shifting gears for a second, I guess, the Nintendo Switch presentation just happened. I'm through the roof with hype. Of course, the internet is made of like pessimism, and everybody's like, "Oh well, I don't know. I heard that it's not quite as powerful as the Xbox One, and it won't have 4K."
I don't care. I don't care. These people can go kick rocks up the most tallest and steepest mountain. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. But like I've been seeing stuff like that where like there's all this doubt, and people are like, "Well, vote with your wallet. Don't pre-order it." And I'm like, okay. So the question I have for you guys is, what's your stance on pre-ordering, I guess, video games? Because I've seen a lot of people say that, well, I want to be able to show these developers that I don't support something, so I'm not going to pre-order this game. I'm going to buy it the second day it comes out, but I refuse to pre-order it. I'm like, it's the same thing. What do you...
Okay.
I mean,
it's literally...
I want to go... No, Blue, I'm going first. All right. Check this out. First and foremost, disclaimer, all three of us on this podcast, we're pretty much Nintendo fanboys. So we're going to love Nintendo by default. That's just the way it is. They're amazing.
So this is going to be amazing. I can't wait. All right, go TJ.
And I want to say, the only thing I have to say about Nintendo Switch pre-orders is why they all sold out, though, everywhere. Why they all sold out? I'm just leave that there. Anyway, as of January 2017 at 9 o'clock Eastern, why they all sold out? Anyway, but no, dude, honestly, the only time, and I actually haven't gotten into pre-ordering games until probably super late last year, and I only pre-order, the only circumstance I only pre-order is when you're going to get like a bonus weapon or item or some like piece of content in the game. Like Overwatch, for example. I didn't even mean to I accidentally pre-ordered that game, dude. Like, like I legitimately didn't know about it until like 3 days before, until Adrian brought it up. And I know, right? Like as soon as he said it was made by Blizzard, I was like, oh, well, you didn't say that. So pre-order, I got the new skins, I got the new sprays and all that jazz. But that's the only time, in my opinion, for me at least, that's the only time I would pre-order a video game, is if you're like a fan of the series, that's what's obviously number one, first and foremost. Number two, if you get like content from it, or number three, that's pretty much it actually. I'm gonna stop at 2. But yeah, if it's like your favorite series, or if you want like a special item or something, then go on and pre-order it. Otherwise, I'm gonna go on and wait, because some of these developers be slick, dude. They be pushing out games talking about we got a patch coming in the next day, guys. Don't even worry about it. Like, a lot of developers have lost my trust, bro, and I am not risking it anymore. And that's why I'm so glad Steam brought refunds to the table. So even if we did pre-order, we can still take advantage of that, just in case the game is still doo-doo butter. So it is what it is, man. Like,
I agree. I was on the Nintendo Switch subreddit, and it was like a poll asking people like, well, which Switch do you want? Do you want the regular one, or do you want the red and blue one? And I commented like, hey, I actually ordered the red and blue one because I know that later they're gonna be releasing 2 Joy-Cons or whatever that are the same color, and I don't mind my Switch I'm okay with the way that it looks. I actually think it looks kind of cool to have one side be blue, one side be red. I think that's unique. Nintendo's never done it, and also, I just want the console. And like 2 minutes later, this guy comments, and he was like, I don't know why people like you think it's okay to keep pre-ordering stuff and blah, blah, blah. This is the reason that game developers think that they can get away with stuff. And I was like, yeah, but the reason I pre-ordered it is because I know that you were not going to be able to find it day one. And I want it day one. I'm spending my money the way that I want to. So if you don't want to spend your money that way, don't jump down my throat.
You, boo-boo?
like for real though. And it is crazy to me, because it happens with a lot of stuff. That game that I mentioned earlier, the RPG game that's coming out, it's going to have like an anti-piracy thing called Denuvo, something like that. And I told Blue about this. TJ, there's like a Steam thread with like 2,000 people saying that they refuse to buy this game because it has an anti-piracy measure built into it.
Life must be so hard.
Right? Like, are you so spoiled that the fact that a developer wants to prevent people from stealing their stuff means that you aren't going to spend money on it? Mind you, this is the same crowd that's been telling the developer, bring this to PC. we love RPGs. We want to play your stuff. And as soon as it gets here, they're like, hey, so since there's been a history of piracy on the PC, we're including this program that just checks really quick with the server and make sure that your copy is legitimate. And after that, or however it works, and after that, go ahead and play your game. People are like, how dare you? What? Are you serious? Like, like what do you mean? How dare they? Like, they have the right to want to protect their stuff, and it bothers me because, for what I understand, like, voting with your wallet, because some pre-order stuff, it really do just be on some BS. When they be like, pre-order your copy of Call of Duty Ghosts today and receive a golden gun that you have to unlock at level 50. What? So you mean I don't get the gun day one? I gotta wait to get none of that. But then there are some pre-orders where, like when I pre-ordered Tales of Zestiria with a Z, I got a free copy of Tales of Symphonia, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, and there were people who were ragging on me about pre-ordering that too. And then they were like, I can't believe they're charging $25 for Tales of Symphonia. And I was like, well, for $40, I got 2 games. So you can go kick rocks. Like, I don't even really care. But yeah, so what's your take on it, Blue? Like, because it's one of those things that's like a lot of up and down in the video game parts of the video game community where, like, never pre-order games because it teaches developers that you'll spend money. And I'm like, but I want them to think I spend money because I want them to make stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel the same way as you guys do, because let's see, what games did I pre-order? I know, like TJ, I pre-ordered Overwatch, not even knowing about the game till like 3 days prior. And was it honestly worth the extra $10 for the skins that I was given? They weren't really my taste, so no. So yeah, I did jump the gun on that one. I did get too hyped for that, and I did, do the bandwagon thing, just like, holy shit, it's Overwatch, let me get the pre-order now. So yeah, that was my bad. Or no, was it the pre-order? I didn't pre-order. It was the
it was like the collector's edition or something.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, Blue. You remember what? No, because you just clicked the wrong button. That's all it was. Like, right. Yeah, because we got it at the same time, and you were like, "Oh, so when are you gonna get because you asked me, did I really trust spending $60 or something on the game?" And I was like, "I spent $40. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I spent like $42. No, actually, I think it was like $50, and I think it was
like
$60.
50-something.
Yeah, well, however much the standard one was. And that's when you found out you got the special edition by mistake. But
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so that's what I was about to say, man. I like games and I like new games, but sheesh, like I must have been tripping out my mind to do all that. But let's see. Outside, are you guys still here?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard the volume on the, on the Monster Cat go down, and I was like, oh crap! I think my mic gave out again. But when it comes to pre-orders, it really depends on. I mean, honestly, to me, it really depends on the game. Like, I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a game where it was like the next day there was a patch that was needed, or game console, because I do PC and it's PC. I don't. There's no patches unless my computer needs an update.
Or if there is a patch, you download it so quickly, you just like,
it's just like over within like 10 minutes or even less than that. And it's just like, oh, I didn't even realize. But yeah, as far as the pre-orders, go, I honestly, I'm alright with pre-orders. I don't, what the hell? Like, I don't have an issue with them. All the games that I pre-ordered, like Smash Bros, Monster Hunters, games that I loved, I will never take the pre-order back, especially for the Nintendo Switch. I got like you did, Black, I got the red and blue.
Let's go. Oh, wait, dang it. I was about to say we could trade Joy-Con, but it's red.
It would be. You're right.
I was about to get way too high. Like, we can. But no, they're both.
I do want to slide something in there real fast for any gamers listening. If you're trying to, I guess, get the most out of your money, or say like you're a young kid or something like that, or just don't have a job, the best way you can save money and still game a lot, stick to MMORPGs or MOBAs, for real.
Games that will take you 500 hours to beat.
Yes.
like for real. None of this, because there's a lot of people who like a game will come out and everybody will be hyped for it. Like an example that I can think of is that Ratchet and Clank remake or update, reboot or whatever that came out on PS4, and everybody in the world was hyped. Oh my god, Ratchet and Clank is coming back. Oh my god. And I played the first Ratchet and Clank and it took me like 2 days to beat. So I don't have a PS4 personally, but I was like, I don't know that I'm gonna spend $40 on a game that I've already kind of beat, and I know I'm not gonna be playing for a long. Like most of my games on Steam, I got like 45 plus hours in them. Like
yeah, that's my point. Yeah, exactly. Like if it's a game that's that's definitely going to be worth your time and like it's going to take more than 20 hours, then by all means go ahead and pre-order. Like Smash Bros, I can play that indefinitely. Overwatch,
so the Switch version comes out and
I can play that indefinitely. Yeah, and the Switch version comes out, and then it's all just GG's. The new Zelda game, like even like old Zelda games, they take me forever to beat because they're so fucking hard.
And this new one is gonna be so big.
And this new one is gonna be big as hell. And it's like, yo, I'm never gonna stop playing this game. It's gonna be ridiculous. So I'm alright with my pre-order with the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Nintendo has yet to fail me when it comes to the games that I've bought. I mean, other systems or other platforms like freaking DICE and EA games I'm not even going to talk about.
You can't still be salty about Battlefront.
No, like you understand. I've been waiting 10 years for this game. 10 years.
I didn't play the original Battlefront, so you're right. I don't have the same experience you do. But
so pissed off about that. I'm so mad that I bought the game. I literally should have just waited, but I was just so hyped that it was it was a new Battlefront. And it was going to look great, like I knew that it was going to. And I'm like, yes, this is it. This is going to be the game. I'm going to love it. Let's do it. Let's get this game full price because we played the last 2 Battlefronts and we've been waiting for a long time for this game. Let's do it. It's on. Bangers. Let's go. And I hated it.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, in cases like that and like other companies where the next franchise or whatever the next game may come out, it just doesn't appease to me that much. Yeah, in those cases, I really don't think it's worth the pre-order. But Nintendo has yet to fail me. Granted, I don't play like an extended amount of Nintendo games. The only thing I really have is like Smash Bros, Monster Hunter.
Bro. I think I call you a Nintendo gamer because you got, like you said, Smash Bros, Monster Hunter, Fire Emblem, Pokemon. Like,
oh yeah, true.
You play Mario games. Like, that's pretty much Nintendo.
For the most part, yeah, you're right. But it's just, to me, it just really depends on the game. Like you said, Black. Like, if it's a game that's actually going to take up a lot of your time, not saying that you need games to take up your time, but games that's going to be worth the while for playing, then yeah, sure, go ahead. Call of Duty, nah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Well, they Call of Duty in particular, they start getting repetitive pretty much, and they wouldn't fix the servers. It was lag everywhere, and it was annoying.
Yeah,
like it was the same game with better graphics, pretty much.
Yeah, and sometimes, even with NBA games, like I just got the last 2K16. I didn't get 17, probably not going to get 18 because it's like the graphics just get slightly better. And then they changed something. Now, granted, from 16 to 17, from what Black was telling me and watching him play, they did change a lot. Yeah, they really did.
But I'm with you on that. Like I have no plans to get 2K18, 19, 20. Like I've experienced the game enough where this is a basketball game and that's what you do. Like I don't play it competitively enough to sink thousands of hours into it. So I don't know. I guess kind of rolling back to the Switch and the pre-orders with that, to anyone out there who is doubting or who is like attacking people or their decision to pre-order stuff, one, let people spend their money the way that they want to. We discussed budgeting a little bit earlier. If they choose not to budget their money or they spend more money than what they can afford to, that's their choice and that's their life, and condemning them for that makes absolutely no sense. And two, to everybody who keeps saying that the Switch has no games at launch, look, I know Nintendo is basically saying either you like Zelda or you don't, but you are lying to yourself if you think you're going to be able to beat The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in the short amount of time it takes for the next big Switch game to come out. Because I think it comes out like a week or two later.
Your damn mind if you think you're gonna beat Zelda.
Boy, let Monster Hunter come out on that system. Let Monster Hunter come out. Hey, let Monster Hunter come out on that joint. Let Advance Wars come out on that joint, and especially let Metroid come out on that joint and see what happened.
You already know it's gonna be a Metroid game, bro. Like, don't even.
There has to be a Metroid. There's just no way. There's gonna be so many. Like, it's just one of those things that Nintendo does where they just innovate and then they just make it great. And I really think that this is like the Switch was pretty much what they were going for. And I'm pretty sure it may be said somewhere, but to me, it just seems like the Switch is what they were going for. They just pushed out the Wii U because they had the money to do so.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, a lot of people say that the Wii U was a commercial failure, and I'll admit, like, I actually ended up not buying a Wii U, one, because I didn't have the money every time that I considered buying it. I never had the money to do so, but then I also lived with somebody who owned a Wii U, so anytime I wanted to play it, I would just play theirs.
Right.
And then once I moved out, they were basically saying, hey, we got a new console coming, so I was like, all right, well, I didn't really miss anything. So, I mean, I agree. Like, I think the Switch is kind of what they wanted to do with the Wii U, and they just kind of had to do, like, mid-range tech. But I don't know, man. Like, I try not to get too hype about stuff, but it's really, really hard with the...
It's really hard this time because, I mean, one is Zelda. And
it's Zelda, bro. And it's going to be everywhere. You could take... And to the people who are complaining, like, oh my God, what do you mean you can only play it for 3 hours? If you're going to be in a car for 3 hours playing Zelda and you don't have like a USB-C charging pack, that's your fault, okay? You knew what you were going to do.
If you were able to pre-order like an AC like adapter for the car, man, I would have probably got that too.
I mean, but that's the thing, though. It charges with the USB charger, Blue.
Oh.
So you don't have to pre-order where you go to Best Buy and get one of them joints. It doesn't matter.
Damn.
Like, I guess if you want yours to be Nintendo branded, you can, but no, it charges with a USB Type-C. So just get a USB Type-C portable charger, and all of a sudden your Switch doesn't only have 3 hours of battery life. Like, I don't know. I know that I'm overhyping it personally, but I can't help it. And I also think, TJ, did I accidentally cut you off on my hype? I didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
It's just so much hype, and it's like, and it, like, I don't, and that's the thing, like, when it comes to these people and these criticism, it's like, yo, who the hell are you?
That's my biggest thing.
I don't care what you think right now. There's a game that
I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. I would like for our next podcast topic to be like subtitled "Who the hell are you?" Because I want to talk about. No, like, seriously, I've been wanting for a while to talk about the fact that I love that the internet gives everybody a voice, but I don't think that it taught people when they should shut up, and people just kind of talk all the time. And I want to have a conversation about that because it'd be pissing me off. Like, real talk, it really does.
Like, every time you tell me that you go on Reddit and you hear like all these people that criticize, I'm just like, I mean, I understand, difference in opinions and whatnot, but are you really gonna like bash me because of the decision that I made? Like, I don't think I've ever once, like, when it comes to games, just be like, yo, you spending too much money on these games, or why would you spend money on this game? Unless, you were a certain somebody that I know that spent a lot of money literally on games on day one that it came out. Yeah, you're doing a little too much, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you're ridiculous. Why would you do such a thing? You're wasting your money, and you're not you're condoning these game producers to do whatever the hell they do. Like, what?
And it's like, Jesus doesn't love you and you're worshiping. Like, calm down, man. It's my money. Like, come on with that. But
like, get out of here. Like, for all the people that are Zelda hype like we are, that are Nintendo hype like we are, yes, we're going to pre-order this thing and we're going to like it. If it fails, well, shit. But that I don't see it failing.
Right, like, and that's the thing. Like, I see a lot of people being like, well, I don't know. I think Nintendo kind of screwed up with this one. Like, does everybody, like, one guy was like, how dare Nintendo think they can sell me Skyrim again? Skyrim's been out for 5 years or whatever. And somebody commented, it's not about the fact that it's Skyrim again, quote unquote. It's Skyrim on the go. No other console does that.
Exactly. Like, you're playing Skyrim inside your car at a freaking airport, on a roof.
So quick shout out to all the girlfriends that just lost their boyfriends to the Nintendo Switch. Because they're going to be able to take it with them everywhere, so no more will it be like, oh, well, he has his game in his room. Nah, we're going to be at the dinner table. We're going to be in the bedroom.
Oh, man, shoot. You're probably going to have to drive the car now.
No, like, seriously. I've already told... Well, no, actually, I haven't had that conversation with my girlfriend, but she doesn't understand. Like, because of how portable it is, it's coming with me every weekend. I don't care. I don't care. Like,
she can get one too.
I mean, shoot, if
y'all can play on the go,
she could get the hands in Mario Kart.
Man, you can catch them hands in Arms. What you talking about? Arms looks hype. I don't care. Like,
bruh, I seen it. Damn these ads, God. Just keep blasting in my ear. But yeah, that ARM game looks pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna wait it up before I purchase that. If anything, I just wanna get Zelda
I'm not getting mine day one or nothing. But
okay.
Like I can really see it being one of those things where it's like a sleeper hit. It kind of like Splatoon was, honestly, where it's like everybody's like, oh, this ain't gonna be nothing, and then all of a sudden everybody and their grandma loves it. Like I can legit see it being that kind of thing because it does seem really unique and interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just me. Again, I'm a self-admitted Nintendo fanboy. I'll admit that, like, any day of the week. I love Nintendo. I love Nintendo products. Do they do stuff wrong? Absolutely. Every company does, and every company... Of course.
They make up for it.
Yeah, and if anybody tells you otherwise, they're just lying, or they're being paid by Nintendo. But even with them doing stuff wrong, like, the stuff that they do right, they do really, really right. Like... I can't always say the same for some of their competitors because, I mean, I'm not going to turn this into a console war thing. I'm not going to disparage other people's console choices because, I mean, there's a reason I don't own a PS4 and an Xbox One. Well, technically, I do own an Xbox One because they just put everything on the Xbox One on PC now. Like, so I technically do kind of own an Xbox One, I guess, but that's just because Microsoft wants more money. So, like... I don't know. I guess just stop ragging on people for the money they spend when it comes to pre-ordering and the things that they enjoy. And then on the flip side, stop spending all your money on stuff when you could save money and just wait a little bit and actually have money. Like, if you, like, as like a quick rundown guide before we get out of here, if you look at your bank account and you see the same place is charging you all the time, you go there too often. And you should probably stop.
Often. Slow it down, just add, or just stop completely if you can.
Yeah, or if you got money like that, then spend your money how you want to spend your money. But a lot of people I know complain about not having money, but they spend money on the same stuff all the time. They'll be like, "Man, it's hard out here in these streets. I ain't got no money." And you're like, "Oh, well, what'd you do this weekend?" I was at the club, bro. Oh, well,
the club that took you like $40 because you're a guy. And the drinks that you bought for that one chick who you was just trying to dance with, but she only danced with you for like 5 seconds.
Right.
And the $50 shirt and shoes that you bought just so that you can go to a club today. Yes.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You ain't spend no money though. That's the struggle is real, quote unquote. Like, struggle's not real. You just haven't learned how to spend your money. But that's just me. That's all I got to say on all this. I guess. Do you guys got anything else you want to?
Yeah, I'll go on and I want to say 3 things before we checked out. Here's just a general tip for everybody listening to this podcast, and it sounds a little weird and it'll take some consistency to get down, but if you really want to budget and make the right moves when it comes to money making, I do it every day, but the best advice I can give you is to check your bank account like every other day. Like, just go on, and I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're good with technology or not. Just get good enough to be able to sign into Bank of America or SunTrust or whatever, and just kind of watch your account, because sometimes you'll get money taken out of your account you wouldn't even know.
You don't even know.
What I'm saying? Like, oh my God, dude! Like, especially if you like signed up for something way back when, like even like a gym. You thought you stopped the contract, but they really still deducting $40 a month out. Just keep an eye on it.
Gyms be sneaky with it too.
Yeah, they really do, bro.
Okay, so we'll cancel your contract and it'll take effect in 2019. And you're just like, huh?
Yeah, that's stupid, bro. And they make you pay like a fee, and then it's like, okay, but you still gotta wait and pay up until like next January. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, TJ, can I add something onto that point before you?
Yeah.
One other thing, because I've noticed that I've seen it a lot myself, and I noticed that a lot of places are doing their pricing structure like this. Read everything before you choose to spend money on something, because a service that I was going to sign up for recently, it was like, okay, so it'll cost you $29.99 a month. And I know that the reason that places are doing this is because people like me do exactly what I was trying to do. But they'll charge you the total fee for the year up front, which breaks down to $29.99 a month. But then at like the tiniest tiny print, it'll be like you owe $322 today, and you'll be covered for the entire year. But it breaks down to however much a month. And I mean, it actually happened to me once where I wanted to sign up something for a year, and I told myself, I'll give it a year. If I don't like it in like a few months, I'll just cancel it. And I went to sign up for it, and then I saw that my bank account, like TJ said, I stay on top of my bank account and I check it. I saw that my bank account got hit with like an $80 charge, and I was like, what in the world just happened? And so I looked into it, and I saw who it was from, so I went back to their terms of service, and they charged me the whole $80 for the year up front, which, I mean, that's their right to do, of course, but it's also my right to contact them and be like, look, I don't like your service that much. Give me my money back. And I mean, it took a few calls, but so just pay attention to all the terms, because some people be low down out here, and they'll be like, yeah, it's only going to be $15 a month. We'll just charge you $300 right now.
For real.
Yeah, nah.
I guess another point I wanted to bring up was if you guys haven't learned anything at all, just go on and save your money for a rainy day, because especially me living on my own at such a young age for a while now, like shit can hit the fan at any given time. So it's always good to just save up just in case. Like for example, I save up a couple months rent just in case, and like food and utilities. Pretty much everything I pay now is in my bank account, and just in case, like for example, I lose my job or whatever the worst may happen, and I'm not able to work or something like that. Like I have like months worth of everything to be able to live. So
see, that's what we call affording something, class.
Yeah.
Like instead of being able to spend money on it, that's what we call being able to afford something. Like save up months and months in advance. Because if you can't afford it next month, you can't afford it this month. That's all it is to it.
For real, like seriously. And I guess the other last point I want to bring up, you guys can chip in on this if you want. But at the end of the day, again, if you haven't learned anything at all, in our opinions, it's pretty much all about balance. Just pretty much make sure you make way more than you spend, and life will be fine. Just trust me. You can save that money for a rainy day. You can use that money for emergencies, going on trips to Hawaii, whatever the case may be. But,
emergency vacation to Hawaii time.
For real, just try your best not to spend more money than you actually have, just like what Joey said earlier. And that's all I got, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I guess I'll go on and wrap it on up. I had my man Blue.
Yeah.
And I had my man Jay.
The Ferrari kid. I'm actually going to have a Ferrari like real soon now, so just saying.
Keep saving that money.
Yeah, that's what it takes. It don't all come at once.
But other than that, man, I'm going to start... I need to get on the schedule, guys. Since we're going to start recording our podcast on Tuesday, I'm going to try to have a release schedule for the weekend, most likely Saturday night at the latest. Like, edit it and put it up on all platforms. And
sounds like a plan.
Just a really cool plug while I'm talking about platforms. If you want to follow the podcast, usually the episode comes out first on YouTube. Links are down in the description. You can listen on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio. I still got some problems with. I'm still working it out. But either way, you got a few platforms you can use to download the podcast or listen to stuff or watch any other videos. Everyone's social media links will be in the description box below as well. I know my man Blue has been streaming a lot lately, and so I'll go and link his stuff. And Joey, he's been writing stuff. For especially clients and whatnot. So if you ever need literature and art stuff looked over or written, hit them up.
Yep, shoot me an inquiry. I'll have TJ put my, I guess, business email, as it were, in the description. But yeah, so
we ain't complaining.
We just saying. I was complaining a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.